Thanks a lot.
Awesome.
In a world where quality business information is needed, we bring you On the Mic with Mike, the leading social enterprise business show in RVA. Join Mike King, the partnership guru, as he delivers game changers in Metro RVA. On the Mic with Mike showcases how business can help make society better. He discusses tech, culture, innovation, best business practices, and highlighting area nonprofits. Join Mike Monday through Friday because it is the place where the best and brightest come to chat.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with Mike. It is the premier leading daily social business enterprise show in the Richmond area. I'm your host, Mike King, and I appreciate you being here with me. The views expressed here are mine, have no connection to, support of, or agreement with any other host, information, or ads on the station. I don't work for the station. My program just airs here on a daily basis, and I'm appreciative of that. Join me as this cutting-edge show uplifts the community and showcases RVA in a different way. The sounds you're listening to are emanating from the Mike King Biz Studio, which is the global epicenter of social enterprise business. On the Mic with Mike, we highlight partnerships, people, social enterprise, business, organization, sports, and we touch on some issues of the day. To get more information about me, you can follow me on all social platforms, hashtag Mike King Biz, hashtag On the Mic with Mike. We'd like to thank our show sponsor, the first hour, Tom Childry, the credit card guy. If you have credit card merchant issues, Tom Childry is the man. He's been in the business more than 25 years. He's an expert at processing credit card services. So Tom Childry, 804-503-8472. Our second hour sponsor is Andy Taylor and Junk Luggers. If you have junk around the house, whether it's one room or an entire house, give Andy Taylor a call in Junk Luggers. Plus, they're eco-friendly, 804-376-8558. These guys do a great work in community as well, and we'd like to thank them for that. So, folks, along the way, we got to pay bills. So please take a listen to our other sponsors and advertisers as they help us stay on. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you the Game Changers here. This is the best business radio program in the area. I'm your host, Mike King. Today, we got an all-star lineup. We have Dr. James Harris from Virginia Union, Renee Lacey of Cameo Models International, Sarah B., our business coach, is with us. And then we have Jimmy Comer, friend of the program from RBI Services, done a ton of work in the community. But we're leading off with Dr. Harris. Dr. Harris, welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, Mike. It's an honor to be here.
Okay, so word on the street is just like, hey, Mike, you got to talk to Dr. Harris over at Union. That word coming from Antoinette Essa. Shout out to Antoinette Essa. Always, she knows what's happening out there. So give our listeners an idea who you are, and then we're going to go into the book that you wrote and just give us a little background, sir.
Thank you so much, Mike. Yes, as you said, I've been teaching at Virginia Union University for the past 30 years. But let me just add that my main job is pastor of Second Baptist Church, 1400 Idlewood Avenue here in Richmond, where I've also been for the past 30 years. So I have had 1 foot in the church and 1 foot in the academy for most of my adult life. And that's pretty much who I am. I teach all kinds of things from philosophy to preaching. I am the distinguished professor of homiletics, which is the art and craft of preaching, sermon preparation. I'm the distinguished professor of preaching there at Virginia Union University, and also in professor in practical theology, which deals with everyday practices, the kinds of things that go on in the church and in the community. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been pretty active in community affairs and other kinds of things, particularly in my early life, where I was a pastor of a church in Norfolk, Virginia, served as president of various other organizations, and was active in the NAACP and other organizations and groups in the neighborhood and in the community. So that's kind of in a nutshell. This book, Black Suffering, is I think it's the 8th or 9th of books that I have written. Many of them have dealt with theology, with preaching, with leadership, those kinds of things. But this book, is written particularly on a little broader scale, dealing with some of the general issues that Black people face across the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice you're listening to is Dr. Harris. Can you give us an idea? How does a book come to fruition? Do you just come up with an idea and then you start building on it? How do you go from idea to publishing?
Well, Mike, that is an excellent question. And it's a complicated one, but I'll try to simplify it as much as possible. No,
You asked
well,
no, you can.
yeah,
We're gonna give you some time here.
well, it's okay. But let me just say that also I teach my students how to be brief and not to be wordy. So I mean, I am the pastor, but I don't glorify wordiness. Okay, and being an author, and a writer, you literally have to cut out all necessary and unnecessary language and words. So to answer your question more particularly, sir, let me just say that yes, you're absolutely right. The book starts with an idea, and that's an excellent way to put it. So you have an idea, and you try to put meat on that idea. The idea, you can consider it like a skeleton, and and then you outline your idea, and you can write about that and try to get that focused on something that in reality has not necessarily been dealt with in the same way you're going to do it. Because the thing about book writing is that nobody wants you to write a book that somebody else has already written, and so you have to have something relatively new to say, even though in some sense the book of Ecclesiastes is right. There is nothing new under the sun, but there's always a new twist to things and a new understanding of how things are. So in book writing, normally you start with an idea, as you suggested, and then you pitch that idea to a publishing company. And you know, in my case, I have done most of my own pitching, but a lot of times, if you are a fiction writer, for example, you may have a literary agent or some other agent representing you to do the pitching for you. As a rule, I have pitched my own books to editors from various publishing companies. And I've mainly published with just only several publishing companies: Fortress Press, Abingdon Press, and Whiffenstock, which is out of Eugene, Oregon. So I've had mainly, and I've also published with University Press of America, but most of my books have come through Fortress Press, which is a Lutheran press, and it's a national press, and it's a press that your works have to be refereed and bounced back and forth among editors, debated and discussed, and so forth. I mean, that's how many of these books come to fruition, and that's pretty much the process. And then if there's an interest in what you are proposing to write about, then you're given an opportunity to write a formal proposal of the book, which is outlining every chapter, saying what the objective and goals of the book might be, who you think the audience might be, and talk more about the readership and all those kinds of things, particularly today in the age of social media. I mean, there's advantage to having a media platform and other kinds of things where you can introduce your book to readers and to people in general. So that is kind of in a nutshell the process. Now, the only thing I'll say, the final thing I'll say in connection with that most of the time this takes about 18 months.
Okay.
18 months from the time the publisher gets the idea and the manuscript, 18 months to 2 years to the time that the book actually comes out in hardback or paperback.
So if a lot of the books that you've done in the past have been mostly regarding religion, what set the stage for you to step out into this realm when you dealt with the occurrences that are happening?
Yes, well, I don't want to separate, the notion of religion from current practices and ideas because it's interconnected, and particularly in the Black community, there is this intricate connection between the Black church, the Black community, Black businesses and establishments, all kinds of other things. The Black church, is the oldest Black institution in America that has been sustained over the years, you know, that started in a brush harbor or hush harbors and has been with us all of this time. And literally it is I often say it's the only institution that Black people really own. I mean, you know, I mean, nobody is renting as a rule the Black church. The Black church is owned by Black people and by the Black community, and that ownership has been sustained, you know, from pretty much from slavery to freedom.
I'm watching the Black Church Now on PBS. Give us your thoughts on that.
Yes, I saw some of it myself last evening, and I saw the previous one that was aired maybe a couple of weeks ago. That was done by the Harvard professor Henry Louis Gates, and then I saw the one last night as well. I think that you know that they do the best they can in order to try to show you know, some of the interests and some of the elements that constitute the Black church today. Like all other institutions, you know, we have to continue to remain relevant, continue to address the issues of people, and continue to keep our foot in the community, particularly in the Black community. And that's what I have tried to do in the near West End. You probably, if you're from Richmond, you know the area out there on Idlewood Avenue in Randolph community. And I've tried to have a connection to the community and to the people. And I guess over the years, I have been thought of and perceived as a kind of community pastor, in the sense that you know, I welcome anybody and everybody into the church. During the time that I've been there, you can imagine we've had that the community has changed. It's been transformed to a large degree. When I came there in 1990, you could not walk from Idlewood to Meadow Street because of the fears and the dangers and that kind of thing. The community was pretty much 90% Black at that time, if not 99% Black. As you know, over the last 5 to 10 years, the community has been gentrified. And that gentrification has taken the form of more whites and persons from the VCU community pretty much taking over the Randolph neighborhood and what I'm gonna call the near West End. That is, you know, between Belvedere and the Boulevard. So, you know, Black folk, we call that the West End, and people who just come to town, mainly whites, think of the West End as being Short Pump and other places. But the West End, the near West End for us is Belvedere to the Boulevard, that section in there, and you know, South Randolph and so forth. So I have seen that transformation take place in the neighborhood and in the community. And it's interesting because the truth is, white folk walk the streets of Idlewood and Meadow and everywhere else, you know, all times of day and night. Now that the neighborhood has been gentrified, the neighborhood is now safe. Before that, it was unsafe. All right, you understand?
Yes,
what I'm
yes,
saying?
I do.
Yes,
So
sir.
I've been in Richmond since 2014. So a lot of that I don't know, but I've traveled a lot. And when you look at certain neighborhoods in every city that you go to, I'm from Philadelphia, my wife's from New York, all Black areas look the same, and it's not by chance. It's not.
Absolutely.
It's not by
No.
chance. It's so those are the ideas that we take. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to get you on the program. We got to take a break, but I want to talk a little bit about your pastoring, what's happening with the church during COVID and moving forward, and what you're seeing over at Union, talking to, you know, the students that are out there now. It's also with the idea of what's drawing people to the ministry. There seems to be a boom with people being drawn to the ministry. So we're going to touch on those in just a minute, Pastor. We'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you.
I'm Tom Childry, the credit card guy with Beyond. I believe it should not be confusing or expensive for your business to accept credit cards. As a social enterprise business advocate, my mission gets you paid faster with fair rates, helping your business grow. We can be contacted at area code 804-503-8472, 804-503-8472, or at getbeyond.com. Again, I'm Tom Childry, the credit card guy. Quick, easy collect. We make it easier than you expect.
Do you enjoy doing your taxes? Long hours collecting documents, poring over the internet, and then hoping you did it right. Nobody needs that stress. There is a better way. Work from home financial. We take the arguments, stress, and headaches out of the tax prep process. We advance your tax prep experience because we care about your finances as much as you do. Schedule a complimentary consultation at accountantthatcares.com to get the process rolling. accountantthatcares.com.
Hi, Chef Michelle here of Mama Michelle Cafe, home of the Soul Rolls, located at 10811 Whole Street Road. Give us a call. At 10811 Whole Street Road. Give us a call at 804-912-1644 or order online at mamachef.com. Ask about our off-site catering options as well as our online ordering through Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash. Follow us on all social media at Mama Michelle Cafe. That's Mama Michelle's, Soul south of the James. Mention Mike on the mic and get a free dessert on us. Special rules apply.
Whoa, are homes disappearing before you have time to make an offer? Are you getting outbid over and over? Folks, you're missing out big time if you don't have a proactive, experienced real estate team working for you. Sellers, if you want to make a killing in this market, let me create a feeding frenzy for you. I'm Bernice Sim, and I run the Happy New Beginnings team with RE/MAX Commonwealth. We help you win big. Let's chat. 804-874-8890. Are you ready for your happy new beginning?
Hello, Danielle Gilbert, the owner and HR strategist of Manifesting You Consulting, HR firm here in Richmond, Virginia. On Thursdays, every Thursday, you can catch me live on the mic with Mike King Biz, talking about all things HR. Call in to hear any tips, trends, ask your questions. You can catch me. I look forward to hearing from you every Thursday on the mic with Mike King Biz.
Having a good name is more valuable than possessions. With a positive reputation, you not only obtain good credit, but the trust of lenders. At Build Credit LLC, we help you gain access to wealth, knowledge, and personal power. Have you made mistakes with your credit? Not sure where to begin? Tired of credit companies taking your money and getting no results? You need a home, car, credit cards, or even trade lines to start a business? No worries. We've got solutions for all your questions. Build Credit LLC is here to help you begin, repair, and build your credit to get the lifestyle you deserve. Our 100% money back guarantee, we are committed to your success. Contact us today at 804-715-2395 or buildcredittrust@gmail.com for a free consultation. Mention promo code BCT2021 to claim 20% off your services.
Offer valid in the Commonwealth of Virginia and restrictions apply. 20% off of your services applies towards your enrollment fee.
At Fast Signs, our tag is more than fast and more than signs. And what we mean by that is that being fast is just one aspect of our service. The most important aspect is that we produce the widest range of signage of any company in Central Virginia, which means we can help with any and all of a business's signage, graphics, and other visual communication needs. If you have a message to communicate, give us the opportunity to help at fastsigns.com.
Welcome to J Bella Photography. We offer weddings, portraits, boudoir, and event photography. We also offer hair and makeup for a complete confidence boost, capturing memories and building confidence for women every day. You can find us on Facebook at JBellaRVA, and you can also find us on Instagram at JBella_photography RVA.
Hi, this is Sylvia Farbstein, and I am on the air with Mike King. He is widening the lens of humanity, and I'm so happy to be a part of his journey.
Yeah, Mike King isn't a businessman. He's a businessman with his own talk show. On the Mic with Mike is the best business radio program in the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on the mic with Mike. We're here with the esteemed Dr. Harris, Virginia Union, as well as local pastor. Sir, welcome back to the program. Thanks for hanging with us.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you got your finger in the pulse in academia as well as in the community. What are the streets saying? How are people doing out there? We'll start with the church folks first.
Well, as you can imagine, COVID-19 has had a significant effect on church people, a negative effect in many ways. There are maybe, some way to put a positive spin on some of it, but as a rule, it's been devastating to Black families and Black communities because, as you very well know, the coronavirus has disproportionately affected African Americans and has brought to light some of the discriminations and discriminatory practices and some of the ways that Black people have been treated in this country historically. So what the coronavirus has done is pretty much shine a light on things that may not have been as easily recognized in the past. But we all know that Black people have suffered disproportionately from all kinds of things in our society because of racism and injustice, and because of the legacy of American chattel slavery. And because of that, many Black people suffer from all kinds of diseases and other kinds of things, lack of health care, food deserts, lack of good jobs and other kinds of things, which have not only disproportionately affected African Americans, but also have an effect on our health and on our well-being. And I have seen during this pandemic, which we're going into the second year of it now, but Black people died disproportionately from this terrible and awful disease. Now, I have also seen and experienced the fact that while I myself, am very excited and pleased about the fact that, we have at least 3 available vaccines now that people are taking. And I'm sure you have noticed, like I have, that, during the last national and federal administration, a lot of people were not following guidelines, not practicing social distancing, not wearing masks, not doing any of the things that the doctors and the physicians were asking people to do. And yet I have noticed that these people are the first people in the line to get the vaccine. It's an extraordinary irony, but that's the way that whites are. I mean, they have jumped lines, they've gotten in front of Blacks. The latest statistic I had in terms of adults in the categories getting the vaccine, almost 68% of whites had gotten the vaccine, and less than 7% of Blacks had gotten the vaccine. Now,
Wow.
it's complicated because some of our people, have a great distrust of vaccines, and that's natural. It's understandable because we all know about the Tuskegee experiments that experimented on Blacks regarding syphilis.
Yeah.
This took place for maybe nearly 40 years, where Blacks were deceived and lied to by the federal government and so forth. So there is an inborn and natural and statistical reason for Blacks to be skeptical. However, I do think this is different. I mean, it's different because we have seen on national television, all the national leaders, from the president, the vice president, all these people get the vaccine in public. We've seen Dr. Fauci get the vaccine in public. We've seen other people get the vaccine on camera. And I, as a pastor, had agreed to take the vaccine on camera along with other pastors in the area if it would serve the purpose for convincing African Americans to take the vaccine. But we still have a high degree of skepticism in our communities. And I'm working every day to encourage people to take the vaccine, that this is not the Tuskegee experiment, that that this vaccine is not just given to Black people. This is not an experiment on Black people. The people getting the vaccine the most are whites. They're the ones who have benefited from it. They've gotten in line. Everybody. So that skepticism in this case is unjustified. So I have to spend almost every day convincing people that they should take the vaccine. And then getting the vaccine in the Black community is also a challenge. Many of the ministers in the neighborhood have worked hard to get the vaccine in our churches and in our communities, and that's still a challenge as well.
Pastor, when I went down, time to get the vaccine, I put up both hands. Let me come on in here and get it done, because it is important. I understand what you're saying. We do have a healthy skepticism of the system because of what has happened to us. But now's not the time for that. Now's the time we got to really buckle down and get the word out. Holy administration to their word about making sure that it happens. And that's what this program does here. What I try and do is give a platform to people who are doing big things in the community. Can you touch on a little bit about what's going on over at Union, and also the rise in people coming to the seminary or searching for something?
Yes. Okay. Well, the school is proceeding, moving forward. Basically, most of the courses are now being offered online because of coronavirus, like so many other schools. And, our students have adapted to the online educational system that Virginia Union has constantly worked on and worked to perfect. And I think that's going extremely well. The classes that I teach and many other people, we had to change platforms really quickly. I mean, I love in-person teaching, but beginning at the beginning of this coronavirus, we had to suspend all of that because of safety concerns and other kinds of issues. So, the school is basically with classes mainly online. There are people on campus. There are essential people who are on campus doing that work. They have to be tested regularly and so forth. All of those things are going on now. During your question about people being interested in seminary education and seminary training, let me say, first of all, that yes, there seems to be a growing number of persons interested in the seminary. When I went to seminary immediately after undergraduate school. I finished college 1 month and started seminary the next month. And I graduated from the seminary. I graduated from Virginia Union myself. After graduating from Virginia State University, I graduated from Virginia Union. At the age of 23, I became a pastor at the same age of 23. And so I've been a pastor ever since I was 23 years old. I know, so I understand that journey and the kinds of things that people are concerned about and involved in. We are still drawing students to the seminary. And let me just say that, for those who don't know, and seminary is one of the 3 original graduate schools in American education. So first was
Pastor, really quick. We got to bring you back. I'm getting this signal.
Okay.
We got 30 seconds. Can you let us know how to reach you? We got to bring you back with this one.
Yes, sir. Let me just say that I came on here to talk about Black suffering, which is my major work that's going on now. And I've talked about it in some roundabout way. I want to encourage people to get the book. They can get it from Amazon.com. They can get it from Fortress Press, or any other means by which there are other means by which the book is available. It's also available at Barnes and Noble, available at Christian bookstores, and so forth. And I want to say to you, I appreciate this opportunity to say a word about it. And I want to thank Antoinette for hooking us up. I appreciate it.
We're going to have you back on. We got to run, Pastor.
Just let me know.
I'll bring you back.
Let me know.
Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, Pastor Dr. Harris, we'll be back on the other side. Thanks now.
God bless. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks now. Take care. Sorry about that.
All right.